What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Dolphins Daily, your daily dose of Dolphins content with your boy Chris Kane. Let's get the show started. First of all, 4th of July. Shout out to everybody. Well, I'm recording this on the 4th. You'll see this probably on the 5th. But shout out to y'all on the 4th of July. Celebrations, what have you. Let's get into the Dolphins talk. We have a potential holdout situation, which no one likes. We kind of had this with Jonnu, and we saw how that ended. It ended with Jonnu being traded. So not great. Jalen Ramsey had a contract. He just didn't want to play. Fair enough. Zach Sieler is, I think, more likely than not going to do a holdout, only because he's severely underpaid for his position. Right now, he's getting paid a little over $10 million a year, which for real life people, fantastic. But I had to look up the numbers before the show. There are 15 defensive linemen that are making twice what he's making. So he's making about like 10.3. There's 15 guys making at least 20 plus million dollars. 15 is a lot of people. Zach Sieler is not the 16th best defensive tackle in the league, and that's the problem the Dolphins have. Because their guys, Milton Williams is making $26 million. Matabike is making 24.5. Christian Wilkins is making almost $28 million. Even if you think those guys are better, they're not 2.5 times better. And that's the problem Miami is running into, where we gave him a contract before he started to pop. And so even if you think, all right, he's not those guys, fine. But 15 million, 17.5, like, I believe this is a Jonnu situation where Jonnu was getting paid 4.8, and he saw, hey, there are 10 tight ends making 12. I got to get in that 12 range. And the Dolphins said, no. And then Pittsburgh said, here's 12. And that's how that happened. I haven't heard Zach say, I want to be in the 20s, but I mean, I think he probably wants to be in the 20s. Like, if that's what the market is, if 15 defensive tackles are in the 20s and one is in the 30s and Chris Jones. Now, Chris Jones, again, is a god. It's levels to this game, right? I think Chris Jones is the best in the business. But if there's 15 guys making twice what I'm making, and I think I'm better than some of those guys, I'm just saying, like, something's got to give. Even if he gives us like a hometown discount and comes in around 15 to 18, that's still a big jump in pay. And the Dolphins have been reticent to spend money like extending guys this offseason. So I think he wants to be a professional. Of course he does. But you also don't know. The NFL is a not for long league. You don't know how this is going to go, right? You think, oh, okay, cool. They'll take care of me. And then you get injured, and then you're not taken care of. He's been a consummate professional. He's a leader on the team. Like, I've spoken glowingly about him on this channel. We get it. But, like, Jonnu's in a situation, because Jonnu's a tight end, and he was going to make some money no matter what. Defensive tackles, you're getting beat up on every play. You just are. Every time you engage with old linemen, try to tackle running backs, you're running down the field. Like, it's a lot of strain on the body, and he's not 22. So I believe he will get extended. One, because the Dolphins like him, and he's like a leader on the team. So I believe that part. But but just the idea that he's just going to keep living his life, I just don't believe that he's going to live at this 10.3, 10.5 million range for the next couple of years. I do think he'll get extended. It's smart for Miami to do it now, because then we can push the contract out more. But I'm hoping that that's what happens, and that we don't end up in a situation where, yeah, we end up with another holdout situation, because that is not great, especially for a team leader, someone who's great at their job. Again, the person who I believe was the best player on the team last year, like both sides of the ball. Zach was the best. And I believe he's worth the money. I thought John was worth the money, but worth more money than he was making. I think Zach should be making $20 million a year. Like, he should come in right where those, like, right below some of those guys, because, like, I think Jeffrey Simmons is making like $23 million. I don't think he's as good as Jeffrey Simmons is. Like, Derek Brown's making, I think, 23, 24. Like, to me, he's either like there or like right below where those guys are. So if he's making 20 flat, I think that seems fair. Like, I'm in the same breath as those guys, but just maybe not as good, or maybe I haven't been as good as long. Fair enough. But I hope there's not a holdout situation happening, but Miami has shown they're not trying to spend money right now. Maybe with him, they'll make an exception. Hope they do. Every year, the NFL puts out a top 100 list. You've seen this. They do it. The way they do it is dope, because they do it like in groups of 10. just because it's always about content with the NFL. They're always trying to like bleed things out. That's why the draft is 3 days now, because it's like we were doing it in 1 or 2 days. It's like we can get third day out of here. So here we are. Now, Tua at his highest has been ranked like in the mid 30s, like around 35, 36, which is great. That's where he was last year. Tua this year going into the top 100 list is ranked number 91. That's a pretty precipitous drop. Like you dropped almost 60 spots. Like to put this in context, number 92 is Jesse Bates, who's a safety for the Atlanta Falcons. No one thinks a safety and a quarterback that's starting and has been good and been a Pro Bowl in this league should be one spot apart. Like you know what I'm saying? Like that's a big gap. And typically you drop on the list when you get injured. That's like a number one thing. You get injured or you just have a terrible season. Tua wasn't terrible at all last year, but he was injured. And so I guess the NFL writers thought that was worth losing almost 60 spots. I think that's a bit harsh because there's guys, they'll have like, you know, backup tight ends. Like they have a lot of, this list gets a lot of control. But Tua's in the bottom 10, basically, but he's in the top 100 still. I don't love the ranking. I do think, again, this is an injury based ranking. I think Tua healthy is somewhere in that. I think in the 30s range is pretty reasonable. Honestly, I think every quarterback that's starting and pretty good should be ranked in the top 50, which is probably like 18 to 20 quarterbacks. Like if your quarterback is, I don't know, let's say Kyler Murray is probably a good barometer for a quarterback. Like Kyler Murray is not a top 10 quarterback, but he's better than basically every linebacker, but like two or three maybe. I would still take him over like everybody else. But is Fred Warner better at his position? Yes. But if you're like, oh, this linebacker for the Jets, I'm like, nah, I'm gonna take Kyler Murray all day. So quarterbacks, no matter what, if they're a starter and pretty good, should be in the top 50. If you fall below that, it's either injury based or again, you just had a crazy regression, just went pick heavy. You threw a Jameis Winston 30 for 30 out there, and Tua didn't do that. He had 19 touchdowns, 7 picks last year, but he did miss 6 games. And I think that they're just saying, hey, basically, we can't put you higher than that because we don't know if you're going to play. This list is very fluid. Know that. Last year, Tyreek was number one on this list. I saw some leaked rankings out here for this year's draft, and they had Tyreek at 30. But I guess we won't know for a few days if Tyreek is in fact in that position. But again, I don't believe Tyreek will be in the top 20 for sure. And I think 30 will be nice. He might even drop lower than that because again, last year he got hurt and then didn't play well. So if you're coupling those two things, then yeah, you can drop 30 points. But hey, Tua's ranked there, and I guess we'll see. Now, I did kind of do a teaser about Tyreek's ranking because again, Tyreek was number one at one point in this, which is crazy. Over quarterbacks, like which is again absurd. And this is a combination of like players in the league, and they have their own committee of people that vote and this kind of stuff. I don't ever think Tyreek was the number one player in the league. I think that was always Cap. But most exciting, maybe, yeah. Most explosive, yeah, probably. Best player, no. He was never better than Mahomes, never better than Josh, never better than Lamar. We can just stop it. Like the top five should literally just be the best five quarterbacks, and then maybe at six we get into people like Miles Garrett or Michael Parsons and those level guys. The top five, we know who they are. I don't know where Tyreek's gonna end up on the list because I can see a dude like Brian Thomas Jr. being higher on the list, even after only 1 year, because he was really, really good his 1 year. He was definitely better than Tyreek Lewis last year. Now, I don't believe in the Jaguar situation at all. So, can Brian Thomas replicate it? We'll see. I don't believe in Trevor Lawrence like that. But this is not based on, where you're going to be 10 years from now. This is upcoming year where you're going to be. We know who the top two or three receivers are. We know it's like usually CD, Jay Jettas, and of course, Jamar Chase. Those are usually the top three. A.J. Brown can sometimes sneak up in there. But where will Tyreek be ranked? I mean, I think he'll be ranked behind Puka Nacua. Puka was better last year. I think he'll be still ranked above guys like Garrett Wilson, maybe like Drake London. He'll be above those guys. But receivers have gotten so plentiful. I mean, there are teams that have two, three, four good receivers now. It's like, geez, man, like it's gotten much more watered down. When Tyreek was number one on that list, I feel like there were like 5 or 6 receivers people really liked, and then there were guys like I'm trying to learn to love Michael Pittman, and maybe there's still something left in the tank with Devontae, but now I do feel like most teams, like if you told me Terry McLaurin is higher on the list this year than Tyreek, I don't think like Terry is a better player. He was better last year, and he probably has a better offensive situation than Tyreek does going to this year because the number two receiver on Washington is who, De'Ami Brown or like who? Like who is the number two receiver? I don't even know who it is, and I watch football, so sometimes it could be that kind of situation. But if Tyreek stays in the top 30, I think that would be awesome for him. I don't see him falling past 50. That just seems disrespectful to who Tyreek Hill is. But I do not think he will be anywhere near the top 20. I think there will be at least 8 quarterbacks in the top 20. Like we know who the big 4 or 5 are, right? All the AFC guys. I do think you'll see Jay Daniels jump in the top 5. I think you'll see Jalen Hurts jump in there. I don't know. I mean, they might throw Herbert in there. Who knows? Even CJ Stroud. That's 8 right there. That's already 8. Then maybe Jared Goff sneaks in there. Like it can be 8 to 10 quarterbacks in the top 20. So I think you will see a big drop from Tyreek. And what I hope is that as his ranking drops on this poll, that motivates him to really give his best this year. He already has the contract thing looming over him because he wants to get more money. That should already be motivation. But when your peers think, hey, you're the number one guy, one in the league, 2 at your position, and then all of a sudden you're like the number 4, 5, 6 guy at your position, and you're ranked outside the top 25, somewhere between 26 and 40, I think that should be a hey, let's lock in this year. Let me go get my ranking back. Let's go ball. That's what I'm hoping for Tyreek. Now he might see it and do some passive aggressive post on X and be like, that's crazy. They trying to sleep on Cheetah. That also is very much on brand. But I'm hoping that it actually pushes him in the opposite direction. That he just is like, hey, let's go. And then he balls out. And same thing with Tua. Like, hey, everything they say about Tua, like, oh, he's ranked in the bottom 15, number 91 out of 100, it's just like, hey, he gets hurt a lot. No one says when he plays he's not one of the top quarterbacks. We just got to keep him healthy. So that's what I'm hoping for with the Tyreek situation. But yeah, it's crazy how fast you can go up and down this list. Like it's kind of wild. Now, normally, this is where we do some of the calls or not calls. We do some of the reads from the audience and from you guys. But I want to take a moment in this segment to just say thank y'all to all of you. We crossed our 150th episode yesterday, and that's like crazy to me. Like I remember like behind the scenes of all this stuff, like doing the beta episodes and trying to figure out can I even make episodes? Like can I do it consistently? I have multiple jobs and multiple things like pulling me in different directions, and it's like can I even do this, man? Like I want to, like I'm passionate about this, like this is my squad, but can I even be consistent with this? And we started posting videos, and then y'all watched and following started coming, and then it became this thing of I want to keep posting because I want to keep doing this for y'all, right? Like when you first start any journey like this, it's not monetized. You're just doing it for the love of the game at that point. And so you guys is the reason why we keep doing the show because it's very easy to not record. I mean, we're in the off season right now. It's like the 4th of July, people outside shooting off fireworks, and I'm here with y'all doing this right now, right? So that is because you make me want to do it. If people weren't watching, people weren't commenting and writing in, then who knows how long the channel will last. But when I see the following growing and I see people on TikTok and IG being like, yo, how do you feel about the trade, bro? Like, that's what keeps us going. So I'm really excited about that. We're going to have a lot of new like features and segments coming soon. I'm getting a soundboard. So when something happens, you might get a or some other kind of stuff. Like we're working maybe a whistle. We're going to get some stuff going there. We're also in the process of working on a Patreon or I don't know I don't know what you call it. Basically like a paid separate service from what we're normally doing here, where we'll do like separate episodes that are like extra episodes just for you guys, and even more personal episodes about me because y'all know me as this guy here. But I do a lot of stuff outside of Dolphins talk. So we're working on a lot of things right now, but we're doing it because we have an audience to do it because you guys allow us to do it. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Looking forward to episode 200, 250. Looking forward to getting the 2K subs before the season starts and just letting this grow and become like the best Dolphins channel that we have out there. So we'll see you guys next time on Dolphins Daily. Peace.